G'day guys, it's Tori from South Australia here with your healthy hack. Now this healthy hack is on high intensity versus low intensity training. And should I do one more than the other, or should I just do one and not the other? So basically, first up I'll teach you about what is considered high intensity, what's considered low intensity. So we work on heart rates essentially to get these high or low intensity figures. So if we're going to look at what we call our maximal heart rate, then we can break it down into percentage of your heart rate. So a maximal heart rate is your age from 220. So if we take 220 minus your age, we use me for example, and it's easy because it's a nice round figure of 40. So 220 take 40 is 180. So that's what we would call my suggested maximal heart rate. What a maximal heart rate means is that heart rate, the older I get, the lower that number becomes. However, it doesn't mean that I shouldn't get to that level. So that would be really high intensity. However, I shouldn't stay at that level for a long duration. So for me to train at 180 beats per minute for an hour, for instance, is probably not realistic either. However, for all intents purposes, it may do damage to my heart. Okay, so while we look at our high intensity levels, let's look at high intensity, anything around 80-85% or above. So what you would be able to do to get to that level is high interval training, really hard running, really hard cycling, a really hard high intensity volume training session where you are just going around and around and around doing really hard stuff. There's a plyometric workout later in the challenge that I've done up for you guys, and that is something that will be definitely at high intensity. Your low intensity, so we're looking around 60 to 70% of your maximal heart rate. So what that would mean is doing something at a lot less intense, so it could be actually weight training, but then we're looking at something that is low impact and really keeping you in that what they call a fat burning zone. However, at a lower intensity, you do need to train longer. Okay, so the high intensity training tends to be shorter, faster, high impact, however, but more efficient if you're looking at training in general. So you're actually training for around about 20 to 30 minutes. Low intensity, you're looking at about an hour or more, yeah? Or even 45 minutes to an hour. Now, sure, low impact, definitely a long time, but it's in the fat burning zone. High intensity, high impact, highly efficient, but you also then get that afterburn. So when you're going to bed, sleeping, resting, recovery, then you're actually looking at burning more fuel then. So that would be probably a really good thing. Now, what should you do between high intensity and low intensity? Mix it up. I would absolutely suggest that you do 2 to 3 high intensity sessions per week and 3 to 4 low intensity sessions per week. What that does is give you an opportunity to do high intensity, the next day potentially do a low intensity as an active recovery. So mix it up. It's not about which one's better. They both have their place in your training schedule. So have a look at that, guys. Try some low intensity, high intensity, mix up day for day, and that way you'll get a big burning of all of your good fats. You get a great strength increase. You're going to get an amazing heart cardiovascular increase, and that way we actually becoming a much more efficient worker and a great recoverer. All right, so that is high intensity versus low intensity. I hope that you put that into your training regime, and this is your healthy hack with Tori from South Australia.